following program is an exclusive Disruption Networks production.
It's Bowling for the Bahamas and Celebrity Bowling Challenge to benefit the Bahamas Disaster Relief Fund. Sunday, December 1st, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. AMF Panorama Lanes, 1724 Genesee Street, Utica. Come have fun and enjoy a few games of bowling for a good cause. There will be prizes, food and drink specials, and some special challenges mixed in along the way. $20 per bowler or $100 per team includes 2 games and shoe rental. All proceeds go directly to the Bahamas Relief Foundation. That's Bowling for the Bahamas and Celebrity Bowling Challenge, presented by Disruption Network, Holy Pozzoli, and AMF Panorama Lanes. Sunday, December 1st, 1724 Genesee Street, Utica.
So you just bought your dream home, and now it's time to move. Let's face it, nobody likes to move. All the packing, unpacking, lifting, upstairs, downstairs, and broking everything, including your back. Let the professionals at EJA Moving Company take all the stress and pain out of your move. Competitively priced moving, relocation services, office moves, and complete packing and unpacking services. They work with everybody to make it simple and easy for you to move and relocate. Call EJA Moving Company at 315-335-0516. When it's time to relocate, have EJA Moving do all the work for you. Hit them up online, ejamoving.com.
Hey, Disruption Network. This is Mike Sacco, the general manager at Nye Volkswagen of Rome. If you don't know me by name, it's only because you have not received the best deal. There's only one reason to leave Utica, and that's to come see me in Rome and get the best deal on your next new, pre-owned, or certified VW. Mention that you heard this ad from Disruption Network and receive $250 off your next vehicle purchase. You'll know why our customers say, I love my Nye VW. Come see us at 5865 Rome Taberg Road in Rome, or visit us online at nyvwofrome.com.
Want to know what's going on at the D? Hit up DisruptionNetwork.net and check out our events calendar, brought to you by the Events Co. Find out about upcoming guests, special events, concerts, show schedules, community activities, and more. Get connected at DisruptionNetwork.net.
Welcome to EC Radio Podcast. We would like to thank all of our sponsors for joining the Disruption team, and we hope that you will support all of our sponsors. And of course, we appreciate you listening to this program.
EC Radio, Disruption Networks. Disruption Networks.
The streets are alive in Utica today, that's for damn sure. I don't know what's going on in town, but please be careful out there, Utica. Please be careful. Public safety is my concern. What's happening, everybody? We're live on all Disruption Network social media platforms, and you can view and listen to at your discretion at DisruptionNetwork.net. Go there at any time. You can see all our shows. We have 11 shows and counting. 11 shows. And speaking of 11 shows, we got a couple coming up tonight. Not only do we have EC Radio popping off here right now, in the present, in the current time, but coming up tonight, 3 and Out, the football podcast, they're having their Halloween show tonight, which should be pretty interesting. You never know what Masucci and those guys bring to the table.
He's crazy.
He's crazy.
He is crazy.
He's a little shot. Yesterday, he was dressed up as a hot dog. I don't know if you saw those pictures at all.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I saw some of those pictures online. Yeah. The guy, Rich is totally shot.
He's shot.
Yeah, he's gone. Yeah, he's gone.
So looking forward to what he dresses up to tonight, and he's got his whole cast of crazies coming in. And then following that, the Straight Out of the Basement podcast with the Uncle Louie Variety Show, which is my favorite show on the D. I'm sorry to all the other shows out there, but I freaking love hanging out with the Uncle Louie guys. They always make me laugh. So if you're down for some laughs tonight, tune in to the D right around 8:30 for the Straight Out of the Basement podcast. Before we get on anything, I want to make love and make love to Utica Coffee. I want to make love to you, Utica Coffee. I am making love to you, Utica Coffee, right now. That's me making coffee. I love it.
You have the most stock. Take another sip of coffee.
You want
do it right in the mic. Yeah,
right in the mic.
Yeah. You have the most stock footage. If there was like a soundbite that I could buy like on iStock.com, and it would just be of someone sipping coffee, that's exactly what it sounds like.
Beautiful.
Someone sipping coffee is just is you. It's you. You'd be internationally famous.
I love it. Clip it. Let's use it.
Clip it. Use it. Yeah.
Much love to my friends over at Utica Coffee. WakeTheHellUp.com. You can find them online. They got really cool merchandise, some great coffee, and an array of flavors too. I mean, you get pistachio, cannoli. I mean, there's so much good stuff. I know you frequent there a lot, Mitch.
Would jump off a bridge to buy their stuff. I've told Frank and Heather that multiple times. Yeah, my only complaint is that they're not literally everywhere that I go. So like if there was just a little cart that could just follow me around, of like some of the staff from Clinton or some of the people that's all I really want.
We should bring a road case full of like Utica coffee. So when the old man goes on the road, you always have your Utica coffee.
I don't see why that's not widely accepted, or why that can't be a positive, or why they can't be living that dream right now. Yeah, those guys, absolutely phenomenal. And I love the Clinton location too. We're there every day. You open up our like mug cabinet, and it's every limited release mug that they've ever had, and then all the travel mugs have got coffee roasting on the side of them, Utica coffee roasting on the side of them. So yeah, we love that place.
Yeah, the one in Clinton's cute, man. That's a cute little shop. I was recently there the other day after visiting my friends over at the Utica Hemp Company. Which they're right next to each other.
Yeah, and Frank has got they're doing the CBD now too.
Yeah,
in their coffees. Yeah, so
what is it? Put like a drop in the coffee, or
yeah, they've got two times. They've got a 750 and 1,000, I think. Oh, so you can pick between two different flavors, or two different strength dosages. But yeah, I mean he's running that over there for like $1 or something. Inside on top of I mean you can't buy. You might as well go there and just buy the coffee and just get the drop. I can't buy that at home for that rate. So I mean he's really hooking you up.
Yeah. You want awesome. Quality CBD though, for sure. Check out Utica Hemp Co. They've got some really cool stuff. A lot of people are a little skeptical about the hemp thing. The hemp word, right? It's a little taboo.
Talking to a couple of people, I think a lot of people are I think there's a lot of confusion and like sort of misnomers, because they see that hemp is just like sort of like this wonder drug, like it can do everything. It's an anti-inflammatory, right? Mm-hmm. And different compounds of it will help soothe different things. Mm-hmm. So I think a lot of people sort of get that confused, because they think, well, it's just CBD oil. It's like, well, no, not really, because there's like 15 different kinds. So I think stop over there if you don't know about it and you think it might be right for you. Definitely stop by Utica Hemp, because those guys will educate you and hook you up and find something that works for you.
Indeed, I think our generation and the millennials, they get it. They get it that hemp is, a wonder drug, if you will, for lack of a better term. But it's the older generation, the baby boomers and the older generation that still have that reefer madness thinking going on in their head because of what their parents installed in their brains back in the day. And marijuana's bad for you. You're going to jump off bridges and cliffs and bite people's faces. And it's really not that. And it sucks because of all that propaganda that went on back in the day, really destroyed that plant. But it's coming back.
Yeah, I think it is. It's definitely making a comeback. I know we all have to be cautious when you're dealing with when you're taking something every day, anything that you take every day. I mean, right now, I brought you over coffee, right? It's like that. You could have anybody drinking 9 cups of coffee a day. You should you probably need to roll it back. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's really similar. It's just like anything else. But yeah, I know a lot of I've met so many people that have wonderful lives, and they're all marijuana or hemp users or different kind of remedies. So yeah, I'm really glad the stigma for it is going away.
It definitely is going away.
Yeah.
And people should try it if they're a little hesitant about trying it. You never know.
Find somebody that's educated on the topic and ask them for their help, because they'll give it to you. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Seth is checking. He's like, "What? No invite? We wanted to go 1-on-1 today, right, Mitch?"
I asked him if you want to get lunch today. Where were you, man? What were you doing?
He didn't know you were coming in today.
Yeah, he didn't know. He might not have known I was coming this far. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's good to see you, man. I haven't seen you in a while. I think the last time I saw you was at Woods Fest.
Yeah. Great day, man.
Yeah.
Great day. Did you go to Harvest Fest at all?
I didn't.
That was very cool too. Inside, for those of you that aren't familiar with what we're talking about Woods Valley ski area. Tim Woods has been working really hard to bring some really great live music to the area, and he's been using Woods Valley as a platform for it, and he's been taking sort of a ski area and places that you wouldn't think that you're going to see a regional touring act and just kind of like putting them there, and it's been really cool. He did over the summer, Z just mentioned that he did Woods Fest, and then this fall they did Harvest Fest over there.
It was like last week, right?
Yeah, it was last week, and that was let's see, some of the guys from Annie in the Water, but there were some great bands on the bill. Viva Mayhem, which is like a 9-piece horn band that's almost like a brass punk, if you will.
Oh wow!
And it was cool, man. It was really cool.
Again?
Viva Mayhem.
I gotta check that out.
They were a blast, man. We had a great time, but there were a bunch of different acts there.
And the Old Main played too.
I actually Matt Strong got a hold of me, and I was actually the front of house engineer for that event. So no, the Old Main. Thank God we had a very busy summer, and we actually took an entire weekend off. It was very rare. We've been really fortunate to be just so busy, but we took a whole Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and didn't have any shows, and we left it that way. A bunch of people got a hold of us for last minute things, and we just said, nah, you know what?
You need some time.
Yeah, I just think, yeah, it was after
a little bit.
There was a week in July where we started on Wednesday. Actually on a Tuesday night. We had a Tuesday night booking, and it went Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 3 shows on a Saturday, another show on a Sunday, and then the following Monday, we ended up going to like Syracuse for like a morning radio show thing. That was just one of the weeks in July. It was nuts.
Yeah.
It was absolutely insane.
How many shows do you think you got under your belt this year?
Summer was 60 dates in 3 months. So
that's good.
Yeah. Our winter time is probably not. I wouldn't say half throttle, but you're at 3/4. You're at 3/4 for sure.
Yeah.
So I don't know, probably well over 100 dates in a year. Yeah.
Any memorable ones stand out?
Oh, plenty. But they all sort of turn into blurs. We've been helping out. We've been working with King of Clubs in Syracuse a little bit, and those guys over there have been really nice. And they've been putting on a lot of new shows. And
John Hannes is doing great stuff.
Yeah, and they've been putting in some. They've been really trying to. I think sometimes around here we sort of locally can get into a funk where there is sort of a lack of production and representation for the bands, and I think that a lot of bands like have a specific way that they want to be represented at a gig, and it's really refreshing to me lately to see so many venues that are like, hey, maybe we should get a house PA in here and a decent light rig, and if we do like a couple of things, we can make something really, really cool happen, instead of just sort of leaving it up to the bands to mitigate their own or come up with a technically direct their own performance. And a lot of the times I feel like from the venue's perspective, you don't have any control over that. Like, if they suck, you can't walk up to them, or you can't figure it out from your end. You just have to deal with it for that night. You're a venue owner. I mean, what's your perspective? What's your perspective on that? From your past,
from like the electric companies.
Yeah, right.
Like as far as production goes.
Yeah,
well, I had an in-house PA. It wasn't the greatest.
Right. Yeah. Right.
I recently sold it all. took me 8 years.
Is that all waiting for me in my garage? Yeah, I took your wallet when you came in here. All your garage is full of all my old crap.
There's so much stuff, but yeah, I had to get rid of it all. As far it's important for these venues. If you're going to be a live music venue, then you have to carry a production. You have to carry a PA. If you're not, if you're just going to dabble in it, then the band should bring it in and stuff like that. But,
Yeah,
I mean, what we're lacking around here is venues, especially in the wintertime.
Yeah.
You can play outside anywheres.
Oh, sure.
There's outdoor venues all over the place in upstate New York. But when it comes to fall and winter, it starts to scale back a little bit.
Starts to taper off.
It does. And it's a risk to open up a venue. It really is. I mean, there's 1,000,001 bars in Utica nowadays, or just in the 315 alone, not just in Utica.
Mm-hmm.
But there is, and it just seems like a lot of these bars are exactly the same. And is live music a popular thing right now? It's not really as popular as it used to be. On the jam scene, though, I will say, on the jam band scene, it's really popular.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the only scene that's thriving right now, because the rock scene's kind of dead, and everybody's doing the EDM stuff and whatnot. But the jam scene is flourishing right now.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of cool bands that I've been seeing lately that were pretty neat. I've always known of Copper Vein Clones.
Mm-hmm.
Just caught those guys not that long ago. Jam, maybe, but like those guys, the guys in that band, they all know how to do that. On that Harvest Fest gig the night before, we all just went over there just to hang out. So I'm like, hey guys, Matt and I were trying to figure out when we could ring out the system. I'm like, well, I'll come over there and drink a beer and ring this thing out on Friday night. He was like, cool. Do you mind if I invite some people over and we just like hang out? I'm like, no, that's awesome, man. Bring some people over. So a bunch of those guys showed up, and it was neat to me because it's a whole different approach. Mm-hmm. And even dudes that don't play together, normally, that can sort of get together and jam and pull off like this, have something that's got more than one movement in it, and even do a key change, slip a key change in there. That was pretty cool.
You got some talented dudes right there, though.
Right? Yeah,
those guys can play.
Yeah, and that's it's really neat to see. And a lot of people are like, but wait a minute, like you guys are completely different from this. Why are you guys so enthused about like a different scene or something that's outside of your wheelhouse that's taking off? And we all come from the same place with it, mm-hmm. which is just like, it's a rising tide. You know what I mean? And this is just another reason for somebody to go out and see local music. If it's not going to see, just because they're not going to see me or going to see going to see a couple of my buddies, doesn't mean that they're not investing in the local scene. And that's what's really important.
It is the support. You need the support.
Yeah.
And it's important for these other bands to support one another too, to go out to each other's gigs and just help. It just helps the scene.
Yeah. Yeah, because then you see somebody else and you're like, oh, hey, like, what are you doing here? Who do you know in this band? It's a huge deal. It's a huge deal. It's a big compliment to me anytime we're playing and like somebody else like Adam Mannion will show up and he just came just to hang out.
And he just hops on and like it's nothing.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Or and it's just like, and he just came just to say hey, just to drink a beer and say hey and like what and just watch you play. And that's like always just so shocking to me because I'm just like, that seems like such a high compliment. Somebody's just going to show up to watch me play and you play. What the hell am I doing? You know what I mean? And that's cool.
That's a good brotherhood that's going on amongst the musicians,
awesome.
The local musicians for sure. We tracked down my PA. Stacy said she just tossed out the PA in storage, gave it to Billy Aldridge. That thing had it. I'm telling you. A lot of that gear too was left over from Captain Trips from back in the day at the Rainforest.
Wow.
When they closed up, I went over there and grabbed most of their stuff and brought it to the EC and carried it on all the way to present day. It's
hey, man.
Billy Aldridge's house, so that's pretty cool.
It made it put a lot of smiles on people's faces.
Yeah.
It's maybe some frowns.
It put a lot of gray hairs on my head too, though. I'll tell you that. Well, the thing with production and doing sound, that's the main reason why I wanted to get rid of it all. It's just you're first to arrive. right? And then you're last to leave.
Yeah, you're always the first guy in the door.
And it's a very thankless job because nobody really thanks the sound guy or the production company ever. And it's a lot of work. It is. It's a lot of work to get set up for a show. It's like a 3-hour load in, depending on the size of the show. And as far as that PA goes, it was like a 3-hour load in, and you got to set it all up and stack the speakers and just run all the cables. And then at the end of the night, then you got to deal with all the drunks. They're spilling beer on all your gear and just ruining stuff. And I can't tell you how many cords I had to throw away throughout the years, but then you got to pack up, and you're usually getting home by 5 a.m.
Yeah. It's support. It's a support job, and it's like it's always some of that is always like really difficult. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're the most important player. Not everybody sees it.
We got some comments coming in.
Because now we started talking about sound guys, so that's it.
Well, all the sound guys are checking.
Yeah, all the sound guys are checking in. Yeah.
But Stacy said we should have gave that the PA to the Smithsonian. That's kind of funny. But Graham Espy, my old sound guy over at the EC, he's saying that that PA survived a lot of duct tape and luck throughout all those years. So many UCs were spilled into that stage box. So many. He's right too. I can't tell you how many times we used to have to put it like somewhat of a barricade of just broken down subwoofers
right
in front of the stage, and people would just leave their drinks on it, and then they're knocking it over, jumping up.
Oh, sure,
subwoofers.
yeah.
I mean, it used to get crazy over.
Yeah.
Noah Dinerstein checking in too. He's saying Mitch was one of the nicest and most generous to me when I came back to the area and wanted to get in touch with the local music scene. So
thanks for the shout out, Noah. Good to hear from you, man.
Yeah. Some people checking in. Everybody out there in Facebook land, if they do us a favor and click the share button, that would help spread the word of the Old Main and EC Radio and the D and lots of things that are happening here. We got a lot of stuff happening. Today's a busy, full day, as I mentioned earlier. We got the football podcast coming up at 7 o'clock, or actually they're going earlier, 6:30 with their Halloween show, and then the Uncle Louie Variety Show, which would be a lot of fun. So what's going on in the world of Old Main? You guys got some plans coming up? You're going to keep touring around, record some music? What's happening with
we've got plenty of new things that we're working on. A lot of it we're still keeping quiet on. Mm-hmm. But winter schedule is really shaping up. We'll be up north at the Waterhole a couple times. We'll be in Syracuse, and we've got a couple of drive-in shows too. So, but yeah, keep your eyes on our horizon too, because we're working.
I like that you guys are doing the circuit. You're going up to Lake Placid and Saranac Lake and the Waterhole and all these established venues that have been around for so many years, and going out into Syracuse and Rochester, and you guys are all over the place, man.
Yeah. I mean, New York, Central New York. This is our home. This is our home base. This is where we operate out of. But now we're at a point we got friends all over the place.
Yeah.
So we've got people that are, they're yelling Rochester's yelling at us to come back. Buffalo's yelling at us to come back. Just had somebody else get a hold of me not that long ago. Dude, when are you guys going to play Nietzsche's again? When are you coming back over there?
Great venue.
So it's, and that's like an institution. You know what I mean? Vince Speranza.
He was my science teacher in junior high school.
So the last time I think I did like a Facebook post or something. We were playing over at Nietzsche's, and he said, "Hey," so he got a hold of me. He said, "My grandfather played in that place."
Wow.
And I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" He sent me a picture of the old bandstand that was in there when it was like a restaurant, a club, and it's like there's been so much live music in that venue. I'm like, if these like walls could talk, you know what I mean? That's kind of incredible. But so that's been a real honor for me, being able to play some of these venues and play some of these, and go into some of these spots and then find out it's like this legendary house. And I'm just like, oh, okay, cool. It was nice to find out after.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's like, oh, now that it's done, yeah, okay, cool.
You have been nervous knowing beforehand?
I don't know, but maybe probably not nervous, but it's like, you want to not suck less, you really want to make sure that it's going to be good. Mm-hmm. And you want to make sure that your crowd has a good time, and that the venue the venue's proud to bring it, and that you're representing them in a way that they want to be represented. You're representing yourself that way. I think that a lot of times, a lot of people miss out on that because they're like, well, we really want to play in this venue. We really want to play in this venue. And it's like, but why? Do you only want to play there because, like, it's big and a lot of people know it? Or do you want to play there because this is a part of your trajectory and, like, these guys are bringing people that you want to play with? You know, it's like, I think venues, a lot of times, like, your venue path can be worth a lot more than anything else if you're looking at what you play and where that's represented. And then you're just like, well, look, I just want to play like some shows that are like close to home. Say you got a family, you know, and you're in it, you want to write your own music or whatever. And then you look and it's like, okay, well, the other band that you like that's close to you is like playing at the Poughkeepsie Chance, you know, and then they're in like Burlington and then they go to Buffalo. You know, it's like, that's what your trajectory, that's what your
route
is going to look like, because that's where those guys are playing too. So I think a lot of times you really have to take a look at venues and look at where you, not just at where you could play, but at where like you should be playing.
Right, where you're going to fit in.
Yeah, exactly. Where you're going to actually pull people and gain an audience and build steam. Because if you're playing in you're playing in like a thrash metal band, it's going to be there's going to be Utica's going to be tough. You'll probably have a couple of venues, but Utica's going to be difficult.
You're going to end up playing in somebody's basement.
Yeah, and it's like, and that's I'm not advocating that, but you should also be realistic about it too, right? Like, think about where you're going to go.
Yeah.
Think about how you're going to get there, because you're going to need venues that are going to support it.
Do you guys, as Old Main, do you guys like have like a business plan or set goals and stuff like that? Do you have meetings?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah. We just had one a couple of weeks ago. We'll have one. I talked to Seth probably 2 hours on Monday. We talk about what's coming up, where we're going, how we're gonna, handle these next, the next coming challenges, and try and create a plan that's going to meet those. That's going to help us meet those goals. I think that's a challenge that like everybody faces. Even in their personal life, when you don't have a business with 4 other people. Yeah. So I think that's a difficult thing. But hey, we just brought. We're working with Isaac French, and he's our new keys player.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So he's a singer songwriter from Vermont. Moved over to Rome. He was playing in a band called Nina's Brew.
Oh, okay.
And they were we really liked them. They really liked us. And then and then he moved over here and really wanted to play with us, and so we started working together, and we decided that we were going to make him a permanent installation.
Has he played a show with you guys yet?
He has. Yeah. We just played at we just did our Halloween costume party in our costume party at Woodland Hop Farm, and he was there for it. We were all terribly sick for that show. But it did. It worked out. It worked out. We had a great time anyway. But it was awesome. But yeah, everybody had a fever.
Oh man,
It was ridiculous.
You guys were all passing around the Wook flu.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. Everybody, we've got like our signature drink that's to the rest of the band says "I'm sick," which is usually a glass of bourbon with like 14 freaking limes or lemons in it, and then like a little shot of honey if they have it. So that's like the signature Old Main. I have a cold drink. Yeah. So we were all drinking that. It's the only way to get past it. Little bourbon for the cough syrup, limes for the
That's an interesting concoction.
Yeah, it can get tasty.
Does it work?
It does.
Yeah.
It works. Yeah, because you end up with all the your limes got it's riddled with vitamin C, and then the honey's just really good for soothing your throat, and the bourbon keeps the coughs away. So yeah, it's not bad.
I got to try it.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to be sick.
What bourbon do you prefer?
As long as I just like, I'll do I'll do Scotch or something like that, or I'll do like Tullamore or something, or like an Irish whiskey. But
It's got to be a dark liquor.
they just happen to have bourbon up there. They've got their Black Button distilling that's up there. Those guys aren't bad. They're working really hard.
Do you still have your beer too up at Woodland?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's still
Ale?
it's actually so it got picked up by a distributor and is
Really?
Yep, and is being distributed throughout the Northeast as the Old Main.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, should have mentioned. Probably should have led with that, huh? Yeah, but I forgot.
You're gonna have 6-packs at your merch stand.
They haven't done bottling yet.
No.
So, but it is on tap. A buddy of mine got it on tap in.
That is so freaking cool.
Yeah, a buddy of mine got it on tap in Glens Falls. So that was pretty awesome at their Brewers Association, something or other, something in Saratoga Event Center. But he got it on tap over there, so it was kind of cool.
And now you can have these venues that you're playing at serve your ale for the night.
Yep.
And that's a great tie-in.
Yeah, we want to do a with man, I can't think of the name right now. But it's a venue, large venue in Albany. They're a tap house, and they've got probably 100 different beers on tap. But they want to do nope. It's right next to the arena. Dang it! But they want to do a release party.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so we're sometime at some point, maybe this winter or in the spring, we're going to do a release party over there with them with the Old Main, and that'll be cool.
How long have you guys been Road Warriors now?
5 years.
Has it been 5 years
Just about.
of doing the same circuit?
No, not the same circuit. We've been expanding each market and then like slowly working our way from venue to venue.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we've been building our New York fan base for 4 years now.
And it's paying off, right? You've seen the crowds getting bigger?
Yeah, I mean thankfully we got a lot of fans. We have a lot of people that really that support us and that show up for every single show. And then we've seen some of our other fans start coming to our shows that weren't really into local music, and then they said, well, hey, maybe there's really something here. And then they would go and like hang out at an Our Common Roots show, or they'd go and see somebody else play. And that was always really exciting to me, because I'm like, yes, that's amazing. It's working. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's working. Like, we're building up. This is how we make a scene. Go out and see music. Go see music. Go see music. Yeah. So that's been awesome.
Seth is saying City Beer Hall.
Yeah, thanks, Seth. Yeah, City Beer Hall. Thank you, man. Yeah, I couldn't remember that. Yeah, City Beer Hall in Albany. They've got a really cool spot over there. Big deck. And then it's like you've got Empire Plaza. All of downtown is sort of like in your peripheral view down there. It's just a gorgeous spot to hang out. We had a blast down there. We played down there this summer, and it was packed.
That's the one thing you can say about the I-90 corridor from like Albany to Buffalo. There's some decent music scenes. There's, people who come out and they support it.
Drive 2 hours away and you'll find a whole different, you'll find a whole different scene that's very similar to your own, and we all sort of live in this corridor where we're 2 hours away from everything else, and you're just far enough away from those other large municipalities to sort of celebrate your own culture, celebrate your own people. And that's why we have Riggy's and Utica Club and all these things that we all know and love. And that's really cool. I'm just glad that, as I've only been living in Utica for about 8 years now.
Okay.
So for me, when I first moved here, I was like, this place is super cool. It's far enough away from everything else that it can be its own thing. And it has its very own vibe.
It does.
It's not Syracuse. It's not Albany. It's its own thing. And it's small enough where it still feels like a town. Mm-hmm. And it's just a really cool hang. And I think a lot of the people that maybe have lived here their entire lives, or maybe were born and raised here, might have a little bit of a veneer, might have a little, might have some, darker glasses on when they sort of look at the town. Mm-hmm. But from for somebody who moved here, I moved here from, I lived in Saratoga Springs. I lived in Poughkeepsie,
Where'd you grow up?
in Montgomery County.
Montgomery County?
Yeah, outside of Amsterdam. And Montgomery County is one of the poorest counties. It's I think number fourth poorest county in New York State. So, we really, if you think Utica's a bad hang, go to a different county that's close to a monster municipality. I think you'll have a change of heart.
We talk about this all the time on this show and like what a comeback you're
Really?
making.
This is a common topic. Is it really? I'm sorry. That maybe I don't mean to sound like pretty or anything for that.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize that was a huge topic.
Every day, but which is good though. But we're promoting the positivity in Utica. That's what we're here for, and to promote the entertainment that goes on in this area and the events that happen, and that's why we do Disruption Network and EC Radio. It's to keep promoting because there is a lot of positivity coming out of this town right now.
Yeah.
There is. Downtown's vibrant, and people are walking the streets, and there's construction going on, and the roundabout, and a hospital coming, and just all this great stuff happening in Utica, and it's cool. It's a good time to be from the area.
Yeah. I mean, there are only a handful of other places. Like Albany will have a scene that's similar to Varick at nighttime.
Like Lark Street.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, Lark Street will be busy, and Pearl Street. Those will be lit right up at nighttime. But I mean, there's a few other places that really have that, but the sort of nightlife quality, restaurant quality, and arts are so high in a city that for the population size that it has.
Indeed.
So per capita, you've got so much more going on than any of these other than any of the larger municipalities.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like per person, it's like you've got so much stuff to check out that it just sort of boggles me when somebody's just like, I don't,
bored.
I'm bored. Why? That's your own fault, man.
Exactly.
It's your fault. It has nothing to do with this place.
All right.
Yeah.
Those are the people that don't want to get up off of their ass and do anything. See, somebody's there. Why is it Seth or somebody?
I have no idea.
I know somebody's knocking at the door.
Yeah. Yeah. I probably blocked somebody in when I parked.
Oh, did you?
No, I have no idea.
I don't think you did. That's why I told you we have to lock the doors around here because you never know.
Right, you never know.
Well, what happens is there's a bus stop out there, too.
Oh, right.
So people would...
Do you have a bathroom?
Right.
Can I use your fax machine?
And the door is mirrored.
Right.
So people are looking at themselves in the mirrored door as they're waiting for the bus, and they're sitting there, and we watch these people just look at themselves in the mirror all day. And it's like, what are you guys doing? And then some people will have the balls to be like, hey, let's see what's in here, and they'll open up the door, and I'm like, trying to do a show here, people shut that door.
Yeah.
That's why I keep it locked. But maybe one of your boys is here. Somebody's knocking on the door.
I'll check.
Yeah, you want to check?
I'm going.
All right.
I'm checking.
Let's check. And before we move on any further, I want to give love to Nye Volkswagen in Rome. If you mention the D in Disruption Network at Nye Volkswagen in Rome, at 5865 Taberg Road in Rome, they'll give you $250 off your vehicle purchase. No? Is it one of your boys or no? No? False alarm?
I don't know.
False alarm. Anyways, hit up Nye Volkswagen at NyeVWofRome.com. That was a false alarm?
There's a man out there
Is a man out there?
in a Honda Pilot,
Okay.
a silver one.
All right.
I don't know if you know that guy.
I don't know.
No, but he's just looking around. So I don't know. I think he's trying to find a bathroom or a fax machine.
That's what's probably happening.
That's yeah. I think this is a real estate office. Do you have any houses for sale?
You never know in the freaks of East Utica, though.
It is true.
I love this neighborhood. I live a few blocks from here too, and just the action that goes on. I mean, yesterday there was a shooting
Right
up the street.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, "Are you nervous?" Like right around. I'm like, it's just whatever. You can't let it stop you. You just keep doing your day by day.
Yeah, I lived over a couple blocks away from Munsell Williams when I first moved into town, and I mean that's the same thing. I'd be sitting there, and then you'd hear like pop, 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 and you're like, oh, I wonder if that's is that fireworks or is that gunshots? I don't know. Yeah, that's always an interesting interesting thing.
That's the game we play all summer long in the hood.
Oh yeah. Is it fireworks or is it gunshots? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. God.
Mitch Eckler hanging out with me today from the Old Main. Great band. If you guys aren't familiar with the Old Main, get yourself acquainted with these guys. They've been doing many, many great things for the last 5 years, touring all over upstate New York and into Vermont. And you guys are pretty much everywhere. Did you guys play down in New York City at all?
Yeah, we try to hit the city on opposite sides every 6 months on opposite sides of the calendar.
Okay.
Trouble with New York is like you should play down there.
Yeah.
Because it should just be on like somebody else goes and looks at your tour schedule. They want to. There's a few places that like they're gonna want to see. New York is one of those. They want to make sure that you're actually playing over there. But yeah, we try and hit that place. Like I said, on opposite sides of the calendar, and hope for twice a year. But it's really easy to get lost in the noise in New York City, and that's kind of the hard thing. Is like we'll go down there, we'll play. We'll have no new fans. They'll all be everybody in the place will be all our people. And that's fine. You know what I mean? They came out to support us and that's really cool. And I'm glad that we're doing them a service to be able to like be close and be playing in their backyard. They're not waiting until they're home or waiting until we're sort of close by, but we're not gaining any new fans when we do that.
A buddy of mine recently was in town he's from Brooklyn, and he was up here. We were hanging out last week, and he was telling me that the live music scene down in New York City isn't what it used to be at all.
I've heard that more than once, but I don't live there. I don't know.
Right.
I don't play there. I don't know. But
people aren't going to see bands like they used to.
I know there's a few scenes. There are a few strong jazz scenes like you're gonna find in New York City. I mean that's it. That's if you're a country artist, you go to Nashville, you play in jazz, you better land in New York or LA if you're on the opposite coast. But
if you're a hip hop artist, New York's the place to be.
You're right. Yeah, this is where the rest of your people are going to be. Yeah, I mean for us, it's like this sort of like folk Americana thing is very novel. I don't know how big of a niche there is and if the market wants it. But like I said, we're happy to go and play. We want to play there. But we just we just don't see a huge uptick of new fans.
It's a little bit of an inconvenience playing in New York too, because you got to double park and unload and just traffic coming everywhere, and nobody gives a shit what you're doing. It can be an inconvenience.
I don't think we've played down there and successfully not had a traffic ticket. So I think we get one pretty much whenever we go.
Every time.
We're just going to get a parking ticket. There's no real way around it. So the last 3 times I think that we've been down there, we've accrued a parking ticket. But that seems to happen every time we go to Vermont too, and I don't know why. Yeah, we always get one in Vermont too. But hey, yeah.
So are you guys actively searching for like management or a booking agent or any of that stuff, or are you still just doing it in house and on your own?
It's a little bit of a yes and no.
Yeah.
We actively look for people that we're interested in working with. If that doesn't look like it's going to work out, that's okay. We'll back out and move on. That's totally fine. But it's that same sort of philosophy that we were talking about before with venues. It's like, well, what's your line of trajectory actually look like? Because how are you going to get to where you want to go? You know what I mean? If we took up management with maybe a huge, a larger jam band representative. You know what I mean? That's not necessarily going to get us to what we need to get. I mean, somebody that's going to be aligned with our goals.
Yeah.
So we've had plenty of companies approach us and say, hey, I really want to do a couple of these things, and I'd really like to work with you guys, and really like to check it out. And we're like, okay, we might not be so receptive to any type of exclusivity with that, but we're still interested.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody that thinks that they've got like an outlet for you to get you some new fans and help you expose yourself to a new market is always going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we'd be doing ourselves a disservice by not jumping on that opportunity.
Or what about jumping on another tour with another band?
Absolutely, love to do it. Yeah, we did a run with Adam Ezra Group. We did 5 or 6 dates with those guys.
Yeah,
that was a lot of fun. And that wasn't really jumping on a tour. We just worked with them real heavy for a little while. And we do still know those guys, and we anytime we're sort of close by, we always want to jump in and play a show together. Those guys are great, but yeah, we'd love to hop on another tour with somebody. I think that comes at a different point in your sort of trajectory. I think we have to grow up, be a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of these managers want to see you drawing numbers in X amount of markets and stuff like that.
Yeah, which I think is totally legitimate. I mean, you
Yeah.
got to know we all need to make. At the end of the day, everybody's
You got a mouth to feed,
right.
You know?
You get it. You get past a certain point, and then at this point, we need to really start focusing on how we're gonna make some money here. We're always going to be. Sort of cash is like kind of like the more or less the residue of success there. Mm-hmm. So we're happy if there's a payday, and there's plenty of times where you just have to go and play a show.
Stacy's saying, I think you should take him on, talking to me. I'm like, maybe you should take him on. I think my band management days are far over, long gone. Those days are over, but for sure. If there's somebody out there that would fit your realm, I'm sending them to you.
Okay, great. Yeah.
For sure. Because
great.
you need it a little bit. You know, right now that's what's cool about today's day and age is you don't really need management. You can grow on your own.
Yeah.
Like look at, is it Volkpeck? Yeah, Volkpeck sold out Madison Square Garden with no booking agent, no real management. They all did it in-house.
Yeah, that's Corey Wong, and
he's amazing.
Yeah. I got turned on to him 2 years ago when Nate Smith, he ended up bringing on Nate Smith, which is a huge drummer. Nate played on a couple records with him. I thought that was cool. And then I just started seeing all of this content on Facebook for them. And that's been over the last year. You started seeing all this Fearless Flyers, all this stuff all over Facebook or for it. And that was pretty neat. But then seeing them go on their Europe tour and selling out these huge houses, like big places. They were doing this on their own,
all on their own
throughout Europe, and I'm like, this is just a matter of time. They're going to come back here, and they're just going to blow it out of the water, and they did. Mm-hmm. And now they're pretty much rewriting the textbook as far as like from a music industry standpoint as to how you can be self-produced. I think their success in a genre that's like it's funk and
like progressive funk.
It's rhythm. I mean, it's definitely a rhythmic bass. But being that it's in that genre as well, mm-hmm. I think is almost another talking point in itself. It's just like, wow, this is something very different. Not something. It's retro progressive, not something that I really thought was going to come back around and hit that hard.
Yeah.
So I think in a lot of like, maybe because it's such an anti, the sort of like folk pop that we've seen pop up, where everything was made of brown and like aged leather, and it was a bunch of tambourines and everybody yelling "hey," kind of thing, and like maybe that almost ignited the fuse for this like super tight 16th notes, that kind of thing. Maybe that kind of paved the way for that, because everybody's just like, God, I just need something different to listen to, and they just ran. They saw what Corey was doing, and they saw what those guys were putting out. They just pounced on it.
The musicianship in that band is off the charts.
If you get a chance, look at Nate Smith drumming with his band Kinfolk. They were at Norfolk Folk Festival 3 years ago. They got on the bill. I sent him an email when I saw that they got on, and I was just like, "Hey man, I haven't heard your music before, but I just checked out your YouTube channel. You're a phenomenal player. I'm like, I'd love to if you're ever coming through Central New York and you want to grab a cup of coffee or something like that, I'd love to hang." Wrote me back 20 minutes later. Guy says, "Hey man, thanks a bunch. Really appreciate it. If I'm coming through town, I'll let you know." Right?
Cool.
After that, a year and a half after that, they just exploded. They just blew right up. I'm like, I'll never hear from this guy. now I'll never hear from this guy. But it was really cool to really see those guys take off. That was neat.
You mentioned Corey Wong.
Yeah,
I saw him at Modown this year. It's going to be in one of my top 5 or 10 favorite shows. Every year around New Year's, I do my favorite shows of the year type of thing. And he's definitely going on that list. That show he put on at Modown was just epic. And I love the fact that he's all in unison. Like they're wearing jumpsuits, and it's a show, it's a style, but the talent in that band was just ridiculous. We were sitting there just with our mouths to the ground watching this guy play, and it just seemed like so simplistic, but it wasn't. Like the kid is just funks it up. It's like, wow, where's this kid come from?
Yeah. Did he go
in the world?
Did he jump into the music theory bit?
I don't remember.
Because they've got a couple of bits in their show, but I can't remember what band he was running that with. It might have just been the Quarter Wong's solo show. I'm not sure. But he jumps into some music theory stuff during
the show.
And
he breaks it down for you,
and it's a part of it. Yeah, check out some of that on your YouTube, because it's just like, man, that's just super cool. It takes it to a whole nother level. Really? It's a musician's. At that point, you become like a musician's band.
That's what he is for sure.
Right? Yeah. I mean, it's a listener's band. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely a musician's band. I think that it doesn't necessarily serve every market. I think that there's plenty of people that'll listen to what he's doing, and they'll just go, "Yeah, I've heard that before. I've heard that on TV."
Right.
And I think on the surface, it can sound like, oh, I know this song, but it's sort of an amalgamous mixture of other tunes and styles and ideas that you've heard before, but you haven't heard that song. Yeah. He's doing something I think is really important.
That's that prog theory that goes along with it. You said musician type band. That word prog goes along with musicians, 'cause, like bands like Humphreys. Humphreys is a musician's band. Anybody in the crowd, usually 9 times out of 10, they've got some sort of musical inclination in their body. They sit there and watch it, and the guys with their arms folded, like looking all mad and stuff like that, because, well, they're better than them, type of thing.
Yeah. And a lot of people look pissed off, but they're not. They're just digesting. Right. They're digesting what they're watching.
Right.
Yeah, and it's like, there's like that meme out there where the best compliment you can give another musician, it's just this like, snarled up, nasty frown face.
And it's so true.
And it's so true.
Right.
Yeah, because you're just like, God, that's awesome. And you're just like, I can't play that. Yeah, and that's the part that's really cool. Yeah, it's always a lot of fun.
I just recently seen my buddies from Kung Fu played with Toby Keith. I don't know if you got a chance to check that out recently. They were playing this weekend.
You got to send me a YouTube link to that.
Toby Keith just got up and jammed. You can tell he's hammered out of his mind. But prior to that, they were the one posting that meme with the biggest compliment that you could get from a musician is sitting there with that snarl with their arms folded like, oh, these guys suck. But they got that face on like these guys suck, but in their head they're like, oh my God, I can't believe what I'm seeing right now.
Right. Yeah.
Kung Fu's that band too.
That's awesome.
So far off the
I'm gonna need a link to that there, buddy.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
They did Cocaine with them, and he did Johnny Be Good, and there was another one too. He ended up doing 3 songs, but he just appeared at this club randomly and was like, I'm going to get up with the band. And he got up on stage, and you could tell he's hammered. And at the end, I got to get Tim Palmieri on the show, but at the end, he went into give Tim a hug, and he grabbed his junk. Toby Keith grabbed his junk. I commented on this thing. I'm like, Tim, did he just grab your
What?
shit? Yeah.
What the hell
He
is
just
going
went
on?
in and grabbed his stuff and then gave him a hug, and I was like, okay, here's Toby Keith.
Weird.
Pretty cool though.
Yeah.
You know, some things sometimes like that. When you're a touring musician, a lot of those gems do come out from time to time. You never know who's in the crowd. You
That's
can
true.
play in front of 4 people or 4,000 people, and you never know. And in that crowd of 4 people, there could be, you never know who could be in that crowd.
Yeah, seriously. It's always bizarre to me. I remember going to see Mike Keneally at the Baked Potato in LA, and dude, I forget the dude's name, but guitarist from Maroon 5 is just, sat down. If you've ever been in that place, it's tiny.
Mm-hmm.
It's as big as your studio is, and it's like there's a huge band in there, and he sat down right next to us with a beer, and I'm like, this is pretty cool. Yeah, but
Love those type of moments. I love them.
Yeah.
Dave Bandage is posting the link for the Kung Fu and Toby Keith on our link over here. So I think Coley did that with Nash. Brian Cornish is saying. Did he grab your junk? Did Coley grab your junk?
no, that's a non-disclosure. I've got a disclosure agreement with Coley. He and I are writing a book right now together. I can't discuss it.
Are you really?
No, yeah, no, we're not. But we could be.
Yeah.
No.
Those guys are doing great stuff over there, not only at the Copper City Brewing and Woods Valley and Woods Fest. They're doing some good stuff. Rome is starting to come back a little bit, too.
Happy to see it. Every time I drive through the industrial park, there's something else.
Yeah.
Something else is, there's some excavator that's digging up, a whole chunk of yard or something like that, and they're putting
not
up
taking up body parts like they used to.
Right, yeah, which is a nice change.
Yeah,
it's different.
Switched it up.
Yeah, they'll change gears. But yeah, I mean they've got something going on. I love that. It's a huge compliment to me to have Coley's support.
Mm-hmm. Good man.
It's a bigger compliment to me when I'm there and I see a bunch of other people that are talking with him, and like he's just there's such a love scene. They're bringing something to Rome that is such a tall glass of water for the people who are there, and like the community is just so behind it,
Right, and it's something Rome hasn't seen in a long time.
Yeah, and it's like it's really that type of some kind of originality is really important. I mean, I know that there's a lot of good places to eat in Rome. There's some decent hangs. There isn't a venue that I've been introduced to in Rome other than Copper City. So that's a whole market that essentially is unexposed unless they drive over here and drive into town. I'm sure a lot of them do, but I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's so far away. It's like
That's the Utica
12
mentality.
minutes. Yeah, it's so far away.
See, Romans will come to Utica to come party, but Uticans won't go to Rome anymore, which back in the day, back growing up in the early 90s, Rome was the place to be.
That was a
we
hang.
would go to Rome all the time, go to JJ's, Bobby McGee's. I loved going to Rome. I did really well in Rome.
Yeah.
But nowadays, Uticans won't go to Rome.
I don't understand
But the
that.
Romans will come to Utica to come party on Varick Street or whatnot.
I mean, from State Street in Utica, essentially, or Route 12, I mean, it's 12, 13 minutes on 49 to
Right.
get over there. I'm
You
like,
could do 65.
hell yeah.
Yeah, you could fly.
Yeah, you can fly right over there. I mean, I don't know. I don't really get that part. Rome for me, right now my wife and I are out in the Oriskany Falls, and we love it over there, Deansboro area, and it's pretty much the same. It'd be 25 minutes for me to go into Rome. It'd be 25 minutes for me to get down here. So I'm good with that.
Mitch, you believe we flew through an hour already?
Did we really?
I knew it. Once we'd get chopping it up, we would just
That's it.
go and
Gone.
time goes flying by. Before we do get out of here, a couple more questions for you. A couple of local bands that you're out there supporting. Who do you go visit and see when you got some time off?
Let's see. Our Common Roots is
Great band.
I love those guys. They're really, they're sort of in our wheelhouse. So I like those. I like those guys a lot. Coming into town, Tyler Westcott and the now I'm blanking on it. Jeez.
Tyler Westcott.
Yeah, Tyler Westcott is coming to Munson Williams actually this Friday, and we've got a first Friday series at Munson Williams. So every first Friday of every single month, I'll bring a regional touring band to Munson Williams. It's always going to be about original music, but we'll bring a new band over there every single first Friday.
How do you select the bands?
These are all people that I meet that we've either met on the road or that I've seen. Okay. I've got it. It's not a hard rule, but I really, really want to have seen your show, and I make an emphasis when I talk to people. I say this is like an 80-20 split. 80% original music, 20% cover. I really, really don't want to see that 50-50. You know what I mean? This isn't a cover band. On occasion, I will hire some cover band heavy stuff just because it's a party band, because we're outside, or maybe the situation calls for it. But most of the time for First Friday, I want to showcase original music. And Utica has been responding. I mean, usually on a First Friday, we'll see somewhere between 300 and 400 people will show up for every single event.
That's great.
Yep. We'll supply some catering, and sound and lighting is supplied too. Again, we're talking about representation. Me being the technical director at Munson Williams, I want to make sure that everybody's represented in a good way. So this upcoming Friday, November 1st, we'll have the Folk Faces, and those guys will be there. They're out of Buffalo, but I love those. I absolutely love those people. Everybody in that band is a phenomenal player. And
is it a ticketing event? Is door charge or any of that?
$5 suggested donation.
That's it.
Yeah,
and that all goes to Munson Williams.
It goes directly back into the program. It's not even that it goes to Munson Williams and sort of gets sucked up into oblivion, into something else. It goes, every single donation that we get for that event goes directly back to the budget for that event. So you're literally putting your money where you want it to go. Yeah. That's kind of a cool thing about Munson Williams, is the way that we sort of handle a couple of those things. A lot of your donations can be really crafted specifically to what you want it to do. We're coming up on the end of the year now. Thinking about your charitable donations. If you're looking to get involved in some programs, we've got a lot of them.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So how long does this series go? The first Friday of every month? Does it go all year? Or?
We take off 2 months, July and January.
January and July?
The only 2 months that we take off. So every first Friday, every single month. This month is no exception. It's November 1st. It's the first Friday of that month, and we're going to be out there. We're going to be partying
with the Folk Faces.
Yep, with the Folk Faces. So there's a full cash bar and full cash bar, and we'll do liquor, beer, and wine. There's always a food vendor, and there's always a local artist or a local vendor that's there
selling the work. Or
yeah.
You do some live painting too.
I've always wanted to. We've had a little trouble finding the right artist for that, but we are open to it. If anybody wanted to do that, send me an email at Munson Williams. Just find me there. But we'd definitely be open to that idea.
The local art community is thriving right now.
Yeah. There's people are making stuff, carving stuff. People are just churning out all this artwork, and we're seeing it in our community ed classes, because there's a huge uptick there.
Yeah.
People are just like, I want to learn more about this, and I want to take some courses with you guys.
So much talent out there.
Absolutely,
so much. And if you just go to Sickenburger Lane and see all the artwork down there, I mean, that right there displays all the creativity that's going on in the city.
Yeah. There's a lot of people with these new and interesting, vibrant ideas that are and on top of it are finding places to be showcased at, which I think is cool as hell too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, totally necessary. And you reinvest in your own when you make art and when you display and when you choose to display it in any way that you possibly can. You're reinvesting in your own community.
Absolutely.
You reinvest in your own in home. That's just awesome.
How can people check out upcoming events at Munson Williams?
Facebook is an easy way to do it. You can hop online and subscribe to our bulletin. If you don't want to give out your address, there's also an e-bulletin too. You use your burner email if you're really concerned about it. But yeah, drop an email in there and you'll get our bulletins. But we just did last Saturday night. 250 people. The wines and foods, wine food from Spain, and a Spanish classical guitarist. Pablo, he came all the way over from Spain, brought some wine with him, talked about him. Yep, we had a bunch of really good food. A couple glasses of Spanish wine from the Rioja region, and it was awesome. We had a great time.
Nice.
But yeah, we're doing stuff like that all the time.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love
this Saturday we're doing a national broadcast with WRVO with Says You. That's a national syndicated game show, and we're hosting it at Munson Williams.
Oh, very cool.
It's already sold out though.
Very cool. You guys are doing some great stuff over there.
Yeah,
Adding to the culture of our community.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I try to every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
what's your title over there?
technical director.
Technical director?
Yeah.
Ah, cool.
Yeah. Anything that makes light or noise.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah.
Mitch, thanks so much for hanging with me today, man. This has been fun. We flew through an hour and 10 minutes.
I can't believe it, man.
I know.
I can't believe it.
Once we get talking, forget about it.
That's it. I barely even had any of this coffee, man.
Like the last time we were at Woods Fest, we just went back and forth for a while. I was like, okay, you guys, are you done yet?
Yeah. You guys done yet? You just over there chatting.
Yapping away like two old ladies.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Yeah, I'm fine.
Me
with
too. Much love to my friend over at EJA Moving Services. When you're ready to move and relocate, hit up EJA Moving. I'm telling you, he'll move you pretty much wherever you want to go. If you want to move to Italy, if you want to move to Guam, if you want to move to like New Hartford, Eddie will move you pretty much anywhere you want to go. EJAmoving.com or hit him up 315-335-0516. Much love to Nye Volkswagen in Rome, too. Stop in there, mention the D, $250 off your vehicle purchase. Also, thank you to Utica Hemp for believing in the D as well. If you're living in pain, try CBD. Try it. You never know. You're not going to know if it works until you try it. So go to their 4 locations, one in Clinton, one in New Hartford, Herkimer, and Utica. Talk to their knowledgeable hemp tending staff and see if CBD works for you. They'll give you samples and give Joe Sweet a big old hug for me, too. You can hit him up online at uticahempco.com. Tomorrow, I got my man Jeff Adderman coming in from Big Blue North.
All right.
Yeah,
Hey, Jeff.
I'm getting Jeff out of the console room.
Yeah.
Because he lives there.
He's got to take a break,
He
man.
needs to take a break.
He's starting to look a little pale. You know what I mean? Yeah, his eyes are a little bloodshot, a little sunken in. You know what I mean? Come on, buddy. Step out from behind the console and say hello to a person.
He is. He's so true, man. I'm looking forward to talking to Jeff Adderman. They're doing some great stuff at Big Blue North. And if you're a local band and you want to record an album, go over there. They'll give you a local rate too. So. But and it's a great facility, and Jeff really gets into the project with you. He becomes like an extra member of the band. So I highly, highly recommend using Big Blue North as you're recording your album or
seriously
single.
Even if you've got a piece, there was a woman who recorded some piano tracks with her mother. Seriously, anything that you want to have recorded, stop over and talk to those guys because they will help make it happen for you.
Yeah.
A lot of people, I think, sort of like forget that the recording studios are also for a walk-in. Like you can just walk in off the street and go, hey man, I have this idea and it's just a one track and I just want to put it down. Mm-hmm. He'll hook you up. He will help you.
He's done it for me.
Yeah.
He's done it for me many times. And we recorded the Street Rock album over there and did the song with the Comets over there. I love Jeff and Pam. What they're doing at Big Blue North is huge, and I'm looking forward to chopping it up with them tomorrow. We've got a long history. In fact, I will say this. No disrespect to you guys at the Old Main, but Jeff's old band, the Modus, was like absolutely one of my most favorite local bands of all time. I still rock their CD in my Jetta. Right now.
I would love. Jeff, can I buy a copy of that? Yeah,
It's incredible.
I'd love to get a copy.
It was a masterpiece. Only the Sleeping Know is the name. And you can find it online. It's on YouTube and whatnot.
Fantastic.
And then his old band before that, Red Herring, used to kick ass. They're a big band from Rome, and they'd be dressing up in suits and kind of had like a Genesis vibe to them, as well as Modus had a little Genesis vibe to them. But to me, Modus was like Genesis meets Nine Inch Nails.
Yeah,
it was a little combination.
Also, it's got like a little dirtier,
industrial sound to
cool.
it too. Yeah,
that's cool.
It's great.
I gotta check that out.
Some dark lyrics too.
Yeah. That's all right. Sometimes it's necessary.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But musically, one of my all-time favorite albums to ever come out of the 315. Good stuff. Looking forward to chopping it up with him. Mitch, give the Old Main website and how people can get in touch with you, or if they want to check out your music or purchase some of your music.
TheOldMainMusic.com. That's the website. Easiest way to if you're looking to reach out, you want to reach out, say hello, drop us a line on Facebook. We're all over social media. You can find us on Instagram. You find us on the Facebooker. You get a hold of us there. Or each of us are on there individually too. You can find me. It's me, Seth, Nash, anybody, Isaac. You can find us all on there.
Right. I'm saving Nash and Seth for my sauced show.
Oh, good.
We'll do the hot sauce challenge.
Oh yeah, good.
I'm saving it for them.
Oh, good. Yeah. You should because I would just sit there on the end and cry.
Yeah. That's what I do.
Right.
It is. It's what
That's
I do.
what I do.
But I sit there and cry and I sweat and swear at my life. But anyways, I know Seth and Nash are into hot sauce.
Oh yeah.
So the next episode of sauce, I want those guys on here.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So what we'll do is we'll eat a bunch of hot sauce and chicken wings and whatnot, and then ask pop trivia questions in the middle of the heat.
Awesome.
Yeah,
that's
fun to watch people sweat it out.
That's fantastic. I might just show up and like sit over there and just eat my wings and leave. Just to watch it all happen.
Bring your snare drum for for all the rolls and and the rim shots.
That'd
be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Mitch, one more time, thanks so much for hanging out with me today, man. This has been a lot of fun, and stick around later. Coming up in just a little bit, 3 and Out with Rich Masucci and his cast of characters. It's his Halloween show, so that should be pretty interesting. And then coming up later on, the Straight Out of the Basement podcast, streamcast, if you will, with the Uncle Louie Variety Show. If you want to laugh your ass off, tonight's the night right here on the D. It's going to be a lot of fun. Those guys crack me up, and they've been all over the place with their comedy. They're touring all over.
Yeah, I was just about to say, all those guys tour. They're all serious
on the road.
Yeah.
Constantly on the road. We're lucky that we got them here on the D twice a month. So
that's cool.
Looking forward to chopping it up with those guys. And we have no plan, actually. All our plans for tonight fell through for the Straight Out of the Basement podcast. They all fell through. We were supposed to have a guy come on and sing. He got sick. I was supposed to have a guy come in here and mix drinks for us. He got sick. So we're like, what do you guys want to do? We're just going to fly off the seat of our pants.
Yeah. Call Seth or Nash. They'll come down here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They can play some ditties for us.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Have them play covers. You know what I mean?
Have
you can't play any
covers.
of your own music. You have to play somebody else's.
Yeah, there you go. We'll see you later on the Straight Out of the Basement streamcast. Later.
Thank you for calling the EC Radio Attitude Adjustment Line. Press 1 if you need a good slap in the mouth. Press 2 if you need a stern verbal lashing. Press 3 if you need a timeout. Press 4 to respond to the voices in your head. Press 5 if you need to talk to your mom. And if this is an actual emergency, please hang up and call someone who gives a shit.
You know what the hell you're listening to?
It's EC Radio.
Only on the D.
It's Bowling for the Bahamas and Celebrity Bowling Challenge to benefit the Bahamas Disaster Relief Fund. Sunday, December 1st, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. AMF Panorama Lanes, 1724 Genesee Street, Utica. Come have fun and enjoy a few games of bowling for a good cause. There will be prizes, food and drink specials, and some special challenges mixed in along the way. $20 per bowler or $100 per team includes 2 games and shoe rental. All proceeds go directly to the Bahamas Relief Foundation. That's Bowling for the Bahamas and Celebrity Bowling Challenge, presented by Disruption Network, Holy Pozzoli, and AMF Panorama Lanes. Sunday, December 1st, 1724 Genesee Street, Utica.
So you just bought your dream home, and now it's time to move. Let's face it, nobody likes to move. All the packing, unpacking, lifting, upstairs, downstairs, and broken everything. including your back? Let the professionals at EJA Moving Company take all the stress and pain out of your move. Competitively priced moving, relocation services, office moves, and complete packing and unpacking services. They work with everybody to make it simple and easy for you to move and relocate. Call EJA Moving Company at 315-335-0516. When it's time to relocate, have EJA Moving do all the work for you. Hit them up online, ejamoving.com.
Hey, Disruption Network. This is Mike Sacco, the general manager at Nye Volkswagen of Rome. If you don't know me by name, it's only because you have not received the best deal. There's only one reason to leave Utica, and that's to come see me in Rome and get the best deal on your next new, pre-owned, or certified VW. Mention that you heard this ad from Disruption Network and receive $250 off your next vehicle purchase. You'll know why our customers say, I love my Nye VW. Come see us at 5865 Rome Taberg Road in Rome, or visit us online at nyvwofrome.com.
Want to know what's going on at the D? Hit up DisruptionNetwork.net and check out our events calendar, brought to you by the Events Co. Find out about upcoming guests, special events, concerts, show schedules, community activities, and more. Get connected at DisruptionNetwork.net.